Hey guys, today we are flush mounting in our controls for our radar detector system. Today we're having some fun in the shop, and what I've been noticing is a lot of people will buy radar detectors and have this plugged into the power port or the cigarette lighter adapter, and then you have this wiring come down and it just looks kind of ugly. Now there are ways to make this look better. You start off with a blend mount, for example, and then you can get a hardwire kit, but today we decided this has the mute button on it and status LEDs over here. So why not try to take it apart and put it into an existing panel? Here's another unit with a disassembly. You see here we have our status LEDs and we have our mute button over here. I've also added on another mute button on the back of the circuit board. If I ever wanted to do a stealth install, we're just experimenting and seeing what we can get away with on this thing. You see on the back of the unit here I have my accessory line and my ground wire, and for testing purposes we have it on a fuse, but we're going to attach that into the vehicle. And over here on the back side of the circuit board, if you guys can see, I have these two wires. So I did a continuity test to figure out which wires are actually for the switch, and then we added another switch online. Basically what we added the switch for was we were trying to have a remote mute wire or switch. So we can mount this anywhere in the vehicle. It's a momentary switch just like the one in the front. Let's say you didn't want to see this. You didn't want to have this visible and you wanted to be able to quickly mute your unit. Well, this will do the exact same purpose. The reason why we have two of them, we are using this car for demo purposes, so we can show customers we can have it over here if you want, or we can just have the status LEDs mounted somewhere discreetly and then do a remote button somewhere else in the vehicle. So you have this piece with this casing with the holes in it. So you see there's holes for the wires and there's also holes for the LED and the button. How do you get it into this panel? So what we did was we had this apart and kind of used it as a guide to create a template. And with a pick, basically I took my pick and I heated it up. So what I do is I heat it up, and that way it allows me to basically center punch it without being aggressive with an actual center punch, giving me a guide. After I have my guide, I pilot hole everything, and then I keep making the holes bigger and spacing them till I can get everything to fit, and then I can place the sticker on top. You guys can see here when it's taken apart, it's just a sticker for that display. So just peel it off very carefully, and there'll still be some adhesive on it. You can reuse it to stick it onto your panel. Okay, so we're ready to go. You see on the back here, you see the circuit board. Now on this situation, there's not any metal here we don't have to worry about. If there was, we would have to run hot glue on top to help insulate it. We can leave this exposed, but keep those things in mind. See, everything's nicely tested taped, so we have the plug here that goes to the radar detector wherever we want, and then our power wires will go over here in the center console to the cigarette lighter. In the center console, we have our power wire here. You see this loom. And what we did was we went onto the cigarette lighter plug. Now you guys might notice I also ran my own fuse. The reason being is this device doesn't pull that much amperage, so I have a very low amperage fuse in here. In case anything were to happen, this will pop, in case the factory fuse for this wire does not do that. Okay, let's go ahead and test this. Let's go to start up when I hit the button, and now it's muted. So I'll show you guys what it sounds like all the way through. So there's two ways to mute this that we have it set up. So we turn it on, you hear the noise. And now it's muted. And we also have our discrete button over here. Now this install worked out really well because the way that we wanted to position it, it's actually, here's my hand, and I'd have to reach all the way over here to hit mute. It's not that convenient. So over here it's relatively convenient with the button, but down here actually it's pretty easy. As you're shifting, you just reach down and touch it. We did this for demo purposes, so technically we can showcase a hidden built-in radar detector system like this. We can also show them that we can do a discrete button if you wanted to, and we could relocate the LEDs and just have red and green LEDs and not have it labeled. So we're hitting the mark as a demo vehicle, showing here's a hardwire for this, here are the controls if you want it flush mounted, or if you want a discrete install all in one vehicle. Because the one thing that I hate about these dash mounted radar detectors or GPS, Some puts on the windshield, and then you have a wire come across, and you have like this nice clean dash with your double din and everything. And then you have this wire come down. By doing it this way, we clean up the dash quite significantly.